Words carry meaning and ideas, and choosing the right words is vital to winning people over, be it in politics, business or your personal life. Anytime we talk about our colleagues, our boss, our children or friends, we have to weigh our words carefully in order to get our message across. But how can we find words that convey our message as intended? That's what we are going to discover throughout this video. So, let's jump right in, shall we? Have you ever found yourself in a situation where your words were totally misinterpreted? If that's the case, then it's likely that you have some flaws in your ways of communicating. You are not alone though, because this happens to a lot of people. Effective communication isn't about your message or what your words objectively mean. Effective communication is about how people will understand your words or message. What matters is not what you say, but what people hear. Effective language is easy to understand, but how can you make yours as effective as possible? First of all, use small words. Avoid words that might force someone to reach for the dictionary, because most people won't. In fact, using long words when a short one would suffice tends to raise suspicion. What is this guy trying to sell me? The most effective language makes ideas clear rather than clouding them. The more simply and plainly an idea is presented, the more understandable it is, and therefore the more credible it will be. Just take Apple's Mac computer. It was originally named Macintosh, but everybody knows it as Mac. Simple and short, therefore easy to understand. Shorter sentences are also more easily remembered. Just be as brief as possible, never use a sentence when a phrase will do, and never use 4 words when 3 can say just as much. Calvin Coolidge, once the President of the United States between 1923 and 1929, makes a great example of effective language. This one time, Coolidge's dinner guest bet him that she could make him say more than 3 words. He responded, "You lose." But it's also important to carefully explain the relevance of your message, which means giving context. For example, Burger King does just that with the "Have it your way" slogan. It uses the idea that competitors don't provide much choice in their burgers. Using the context of the fast food wars, Burger King sets themselves apart with it. So when it comes to effective language, small beats large, short beats long, and plain beats complex. Therefore, rule number 1, effective language is clear, simple, and well organized. Language can be extremely powerful. If I were to say to you, "giraffe on a bike," it immediately paints a vivid mental image in your mind. Such a powerful mental picture forms because people struggle to resist imagining a long-necked creature helplessly pedaling on a bicycle that's far too small for it. There's one word in the English language that automatically triggers the process of visualization. The word is imagine. The word imagine is perhaps the single most powerful communication tool because it allows individuals to generate their own personalized vision based on their deepest emotions and desires. The strength of the human imagination makes appealing to your audience's imaginative senses a powerful tool for conveying your message. For example, good advertising slogans often employ language that grabs your imagination and senses. Just take Eminem's famous slogan, "Melts in your mouth, not in your hand." When you hear it, you can practically feel the chocolate on your tongue. Therefore, rule number 2, effective language appeals to the audience's imagination. Messages need to say what people want to hear. The key to successful aspirational language for products is to personalize and humanize the message to trigger an emotional remembrance. Humanization means finding words that apply to a situation everyone is familiar with. But if the listener can relate that language to his or her own life experiences, that's personalization. The most memorable example comes from Martin Luther King when he uttered the words, "I have a dream." He was speaking to the individual hopes and dreams of all Americans. People forget what you say, but they will never forget how you made them feel. And Martin Luther King made people feel that they should be accepted for who they are, not for what they look like. Advertisers use humanization and personalization all the time. They create advertisements and taglines that apply to everyone's individual life experiences and demonstrate that consuming their products will make our lives better. For instance, the current Olay slogan, "Love the skin you're in," is all about improving self-worth. Instead of trying to cover up their natural looks with mounds of cosmetics, this campaign tells women to respect who they already are and embrace what they already look like. With the help of Olay, of course. Another excellent tool for making an emotional impact is to ask questions. What would you do if you were in my shoes triggers a thought process and leads them to a conclusion. Making a statement in the form of a rhetorical question makes the reaction personal, and personalized communication is the best communication. Therefore, rule number 3, effective language addresses people's emotions. So, lastly, you've learned some important skills for getting your point across. But how can it help you in your day-to-day life? How can you use effective language and ask for a raise or a promotion? Most of us are uncomfortable marching into our boss's office and demanding a raise or promotion. In this situation, you need to understand the situation of your audience, in this case your boss. To him or her, your raise or promotion is not viewed as a reward for past performance. It is simply a speculative investment in your future performance. The question your boss will be answering for you is not, "What have you done for me lately?" It is, "What are you going to do for me tomorrow?" You will be most effective if you emphasize what your boss is most concerned with: the future, the next client, future context, the upcoming project. When you go to pitch for it, it is time to use the 2 most effective words you can use in this situation. Imagine if. Imagine if I hadn't been there to work on project X. Imagine what would have happened if we've lost that client. What you're effectively doing with the imagine if line is intrinsically tying yourself to success in your workplace. If you achieve the imagine if visualization by demonstrating your future value, chances are you'll end up getting that raise, bonus or promotion. Therefore, the 4th and final rule: apply words that work in your day-to-day life. To summarize, effective language is clear, simple and well organized. Effective language appeals to the audience's imagination. Effective language addresses people's emotions. And apply words that work in your day-to-day life. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep reading as much as you can.